What do you think? What was the first popular social media platform? It was MySpace. Next, what do you think? What was the first popular email accessing tool? It was Yahoo. Next, what do you think? What was the first popular video calling tool? It was Skype. So all those are not a popular platform, but those are the platform who basically started something. But all those popular right now, they basically identified a gap in the industry, also identified the sizable market. So that's how they are better able to perform in the market. Figma has a similar footprint. We'll discuss about that in this video. Let's get started. Hello, my name is Darshan Suthar. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Versatile. In this video, we'll uncover Figma strategy in detail. September 2010 and before, Photoshop was the only design tool for image editing, for website design, for mobile design and everything, right? There was no library, there was no structure, there was nothing at all, right? That helps a web designer or the app designer to design particular good design. It was completely raster based tool to edit the image, right? It wasn't efficient enough for the web design or the app design, right? And even to use something like illustration, those kind of a thing were get it done into the illustrator, not in the Photoshop. So that's how web designing was happening in those era. Sketch came up in the industry and they introduced a vector based tool to design your mobile application, your web application. That basically simplified designer life, I would say. And soon after, Adobe also released a tool called Experience Design that was shortly called as XD, and also Figma was introduced. As soon as designer get to know about a sketch which actually does the job and make their life easier, so their adoption skyrocketed, right? And everyone was using the sketch and the tools and things like that, right? So that they get to understand, okay, which kind of a tool they require to design a website or the application. But Sketch was only available in the Macintosh OS, right? On not on the Windows or Linux or something else, right? As soon as Adobe released the Experience Design software, they thought about this problem and they released in both the OS. So in both the OS, designer can work. As you know about Windows PC's market size, right? So XD was skyrocketed and everyone was in the industry able to understand the design, that process, UI design and component design and all other stuff that come into the design process. I would definitely add one point here. Adobe actually understand the problem of the paid version of the sketch, right? And that's why they made it free. The XD version, right? That was made it free by the Adobe. Okay, Figma is a similar looking software, does the job, available free, and vector based as well. Then why you are discussing all those things? No, there is more. So there are total 5 reasons why Figma is winning. One is a medium, second is a community, third is a groundbreaking feature, fourth is a easy adoption, and fifth is a killing tools. What I meant by medium? So medium is a boundary-less tool. Figma understands this problem very well, right? Designers who are very comfortable to use on a Mac will not be easy adopted by the Windows PC, and designers who are habituated to XD will not shift to Sketch as well, right? And both are available on the different OSs as well. So Figma understands this problem very well, right? So they made a tool which is accessible on a Windows, on a Mac, and also on the web itself. Also, one another thing you may have noticed, Figma also have a mobile application. So whenever you are designing on the Figma and you want to see your designs on your real phone, that's where the app comes into the play, right? Whatever you are designing on the Figma itself, that you can test it out on your real phone. So you will be able to understand, okay, which kind of a design it will look like when user will be using the app. Community is an essential part of any tool, I would say. So Figma understand this part as well. So Figma made few feature available for the user where they can, publish few things on a global community center, right? Where other designers can also use the same tool that other designer had made for, right? So in that case, users can create toolkit, users can create a plugin, users can create a widget as well, right? So in a way that can build upon the community, and in the community, everyone wins. Third is a groundbreaking features. Wait, have you heard about the auto layout yet? I'm sure you had. That's a completely new feature that Figma came up with, and that is a completely new standard that industry had now. These days, for a designer, design anything without auto layout is a nightmare to have, right? Because whatever you are doing, it's a completely flexible for you in the layout itself, right? It's a completely, you are creating a HTML code for yourself in the design tool like a Figma. Figma also understood one another thing. So in the tools like a experience design, tools like a sketch, they do have a artboards in different sizes. So there Figma understand one major problem, right? Which is a limiting the user. So Figma understand that problem and solve it by the frames only. So in the Figma, you will not really have any artboard or something like that. You will have the open artboard and there you will have only frames, right? You can create components inside it, that's another part, but you can definitely create frames. There is not something like an artboard that you will have in the place. I can still remember when I was working on an XD and a sketch, and there is one color mismatch that I wanted to change in the whole artboard, right? I have to go everywhere and check and also update the color everywhere. For me, that was a completely big task to be done. But Figma solved it in very efficient way. So on the right panel, if you go, there will be a selection color section, right? That shows all the color used in the particular page, right? So you can just go there, select a color, update it, it will reflect all over. Then there is a library. Libraries help you to communicate all of your component and that you can use in another file as well, right? Let's say you are working on certain projects, right, where many designers will be there, and there you need to have a single library which can be accessible across different projects, different files to different designers as well. After that, Figma came up with a FigGem, where you can brainstorm, you can do whatever you want on a whiteboard, right? It's a completely whiteboard for you to explore, to communicate, to put down ideas, to put down screenshot, video, anything you want. And also Figma worked upon the multiple collaboration tool. Many designers can work on just a single file. Everyone can see who is working on what, who is changing what, and things like that. So it's a very collaborative in nature, right? Now coming to easy adoption. So far we have seen that Sketch and XD had taken over the whole market, right? And designers used to create all of their design in just a Sketch or the XD. But when Figma understood the problem, right? So what that done is they allowed users to import all of their XD and Sketch file into Figma itself, and Figma will convert those files into Figma file itself. So that creates a very easy adoption for the Figma. So for a Figma and for designers, that's a win-win condition, where users can easily adopt the tool and Figma will have a new user in the system. Now let's talk about killing tools. So Figma builded few features and tools as well when they see there is a competitor, right, in the similar design space. So what they done is they had built it and also implemented a feature in a way that designers don't really need to be dependent on the other tools than the Figma itself. So let's consider one tool, which is a Zeppelin. So whatever you are designing on your design tool, that you have to export on the Zeppelin, so developers can better understand your designs on a Zeppelin, where they can actually see the font sizes, they can see the spacing between two different vectors, two different elements. So Figma made a tool in itself where they can actually check that as well. So on the right top corner, there is a menu called Inspect. Developers can just go there and they can understand everything from there itself. So they don't really need to rely on the Zeppelin. Initially, there was one tool called InVision that was majorly used for the prototyping only, but so far Sketch adopted and made their feature like a prototyping in a Sketch. XD also done that and Figma also done that. But Figma do have their own trick as well, right, on the prototype. They do have a smart animate feature in the prototyping. As I told you, there is a tool called a FigGem, right, which is used for the onboarding. But in the industry, there is one already running tool which is called Miro. Initially, it was a real-time board, but they had rebranded and they call it as a Miro now. Figma understood that many users are moving to Miro just for the whiteboarding thing. So they made it available too in the whole ecosystem. So users don't really need to rely on a few other tools for some kind of activities, right? So Figma actually covered all the problems for the designer, and that's why we can say that Figma is currently winning in the industry. I hope so far you have understood why Figma is doing really better in the industry today. If you like the video, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.